Hey there, good morning, happy Thursday. It's beautiful weather here in Denver, Colorado. The snow is coming down. It's really bright outside. I was just at the bird feeder watching 5 or 6 little birds feeding on the feeder. I don't know, I think I love snowy weather like this in Colorado. Now I don't have to go anywhere today, and maybe that's why. But it's a beautiful snowy day, perfect for stamping. And this morning I was kind of finalizing everything for the shoebox swap that I'm going to this Sunday, and I thought I would share with you what a shoebox swap is and how it all works. So this is like when you go to a shoebox swap, maybe I should stop there and explain what a shoebox swap is. So this one is a demonstrator shoebox swap. It's my upline. When you become a demonstrator, you sign up under somebody. I signed up under Barb, and then Barb signed up under Terry. So Terry, with her group, which is called Kindred Inkers, is having this shoebox swap. So to be demonstrators, I think there's 7 of us going to be there, which I think is the perfect size, perfect size of a shoebox swap, because I think between 5 and 10, you still get a lot of cards, but you're not overwhelmed trying to make too many. So it doesn't last like 3 days, but not quite, that's an exaggeration. But anyway, so a shoebox swap, what you do is you bring everything with you to make a card. So I'm bringing with me 7 packets. Everybody's gonna make my card, and then I will go in turn and make everybody else's card. So I'll go there with 7 packets and my sample card, and I will come home with 6 cards that I have made that someone else has designed. So I hope that explains what a shoebox swap is. Now, when you go to a shoebox swap, you got to bring your own adhesives and stuff. So this is what I would bring with me to a shoebox swap. Maybe I might throw an alcohol swab in there just in case I need, and I'll probably bring my chamois, and I'd probably bring my pierce mat that's cut down. But really, these are the basics that I would need for my shoebox swap. And I don't know if you noticed, but there's 2 pairs of scissors, because one of them I would use for ribbon. I have it marked here for ribbon. They're really sharp, and I've never cut paper with them, I don't think. And then the other pair would just be for paper. They're just paper snips. They're not quite as sharp as my ribbon paper snips, so that's that. Okay, so let's set this aside and let me show you. Well, first of all, if you're going to the shoebox swap and you want my card to be a surprise, turn off, go away, close your eyes, do something, because I'm going to show you. Well, we're going to make my card today. So what I did first of all is I made like a little cheat sheet that I'm going to set by my table, because my card has a lot of different colors and stamping, and I don't know if that's a bad thing, but it's a really cute card and I was really happy. So I made them a little cheat sheet so they could know what they're going to color, or what colors are and what stamps. Maybe that would help them. Also, I forgot, and I need to add it on here, that the little birds are going to be in memento. So that's another thing I'd put. And this is not normal. I don't think I would normally do this for a shoebox swap. But like I said, I have a lot of different colors that we're going to stamp in. So I just kind of wanted to help them out so they could see what colors are going to be what. Now, before I go on any further, I want to be sure and give Lisa Freeman credit, because she's the one I cased her card. Look how cute my card is. Her card is adorable too. I didn't have everything that she had, so I kind of turned a little bit into my card, but this is the card that we're going to be making. And what I think excites me the most is that it's got techniques in there that I haven't done for a long time, and I'm really happy to bring back, because you know, you lose those techniques and it's like, oh, I wished I would have thought about that. So thanks, Lisa, for bringing that technique back to my mind. And it's called the kissing technique, and I'll show you what it is when we do it. But there's my card. So the first thing how I'm going to set up for my shoebox swap is I have here, we're going to use photopolymer, or the clear stamp sets. So I'm going to go ahead and just set my station up with, this is just a piece of fun foam and then a piece of scratch paper. That way, when they go to stamp, they won't need their foam mats. I'll have one form already with my scratch paper here. But there, now I think we're all ready to go. And then let's show you, I have a million stamp sets here, and I'm going to get them all mounted for you. So the first one I'm going to use, or not going to use, but I'm going to mount, this is called the Gentle Waves. It's a background stamp, so it's really big, but I have it set up here on that great big block. What block is this? Block F. So that's going to be ready. I'm going to set it just right there. Hopefully we can see it. Put this away. And then this Let's Sail. I need these cute little birds right here, so I'm gonna mount, oh, and in my box here, see, here's my shoebox that has everything in it that I need. This is even a clip that I can clip right there on my box and display my card. I was pretty happy about that I had that. Not my first shoebox swap. Here's my packets. So let's take one of those and get ready with that. Put that aside so I don't mess those up. Here, let's get out all these blocks and mount up all the stamps. This would be good so I can see exactly what blocks I need, and then I can put if I have extras, I can put the other ones away. Okay, so we got our blocks. Let's mount our stamps here. Okay, so from this one, like I said, I need those little birds there. So let's look, I haven't even put this stamp set together yet. I'm so excited about this one. This is a punch bundle, and it has a punch that punch out that little boat. And I'm looking forward, I haven't had a chance to play with that one yet. But take my little birds here, find a little block. And I got my birds already. And then from this stamp set, this is our Mountaineer stamp set. I need a little circle for the sun. So I'm gonna take this moon here and I'm gonna mount it so that the texture side is on the block, so that when I stamp it, I just get a solid circle. Well, kind of. So I'm gonna stamp it, I'm gonna mount it this way. So like I said, really this is the back of the stamp. And then from this one, which I love, now this is a celebration stamp set. If you place a $100 order, you can get this stamp set for free. But look, it's 21 stamps that are all just really nice wording, or really nice greetings, I guess you'd call them. And we're gonna use a few out of this stamp set. So this happy birthday, I'm gonna put that here on a block. And then this, I think you're wonderful. Put that on a block. And then last is one that says, let me see if yeah, where would I be without a friend like you? I think that is my favorite stamp, because I have so many friends that I don't know where I would be without them. Okay, so that's all out of that stamp set. And then last, I hope the last stamp set we're going to be using is the ocean front. And really this is the main stamp set that we're going to use. So we're going to use a bunch of these. And let's see if I can get these mounted. So if you notice, when I do my stamp sets, I go ahead and cut this piece of paper from the inside packaging and put it over here. That way, when I look through my stamp cases, I can see my stamps. And I've done a video and showed you, but I'm going to do another video and show you how I like to organize my stamps. And then I keep this piece of clear from the packaging over there so that my stamps don't stick to my lid, they stick to where I want them. But anyway, let's go on. So this stamp here, this great big one, I'm going to put on the block. And this one over here, we're going to use this one for the water. We'll put him on a block. And then this is going to be the dirt or the sand. We're going to put him on a block. We're going to use this weed right here. That's what I call it. I don't think it is a weed. Maybe someone knows the proper term for that one. And then we're going to use this little sand. Look, and I have just exactly enough blocks. Okay, so I did that part right. So really we use this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Although I thought about putting some rocks on there, and I thought that's enough stamping, we can't go overboard. But I think that would look really cute on there too, so I might try that later, but not for my shoebox swap. Okay, so now I have all my stamps ready, mounted, ready to go. Set those aside. Let me show you all the colors that we're going to use. So like I said, for those little birds, here, let's cover up the card here. These little birds here, I'm going to use some black memento. And then for the dirt down here, I'm going to use Sahara sand, and I'm going to also stamp the little sand. There's like a little sand stamp that makes it look kind of grainy. And then on the sunset here, I'm going to use a little bit of Calypso coral, and I'm going to put that on there with a dauber. So I have a dauber here for my Calypso coral. The sun in the background, and the kissing here that we're going to do is with the Daffodil Delight. The water takes two tones, so I'm going to use Coastal Cabana and Bermuda Bay. And then, yeah, last, oh no, there's 2 more. And then for the words, I'm going to use early espresso. And for the weeds, when you tell me, or until you tell me what the plant is really called, I'm going to use soft suede. Okay, so let's go ahead and stamp, and then when we finish off our cards, I'll tell you about the rest of it. So we're going to start with the sunset. So I'm going to bring in that Calypso Coral and the Daffodil Delight and my dauber. Okay, open those both up. And in my packet here, I'm going to stamp on my envelope, but I'm going to wait until I do the right part of the stamping. So I'm going to set that aside so it's handy. This little scrap here is what my greeting goes on. Now, don't worry. Well, they don't need to hear this. I cut a bunch of extras just in case. I'd hate to have them, you know, mess up. Sometimes those little strips are hard to stamp on. So I did cut some extras, so they'll have extras in case they have a blooper. But we'll stamp on him later. I'll set him aside. And then we have the front of our card here and the mat. And then I went ahead and put one on the inside so they would know that that's the inside of their packet, or the inside of their card in their packet. Okay, but we're going to start with this one. I'm going to ink up this one that looks like a rectangle. It's just a big blobby looking thing. But I'm going to ink this one up good like this in the Daffodil Delight. And then I'm going to stamp off, because it's awfully dark. My ink pad must be very juicy. And then I'm going to take my little dauber here and just put a little bit of Calypso Coral here on the bottom. And I'm like Lisa taught me when she did her card, I'm trying not to get a straight line. I want it to kind of blend in there, so it just takes a little bit. And then I'm going to take, this is the moon from the mountain stamp set. Shoot, I forgot the name. Remember, it's the back side of the stamp. I'm going to ink that up. Oh, in the wrong color. Hang on. Put that one away. I don't want that one in that color. Thank goodness I have my chamois here. That's another thing I should bring with me, is my chamois, in case I do something stupid like that. Okay, let's put it in the yellow. We're going to ink it up in the daffodil, this color, and I'm going to stamp it right here. Now, because this is ink and this is ink, I have to be careful. It might be a little bit slippery. So I'm going to be careful and just touch those two down. And now, when I'm going to put a little bit of Vader, I'm going to huff on here. Re-ink those inks that maybe have dried out, or re-moisturize. I'm not supposed to use moist. The people don't like that word. But then I'm going to stamp this down right here. And now by stamping that onto the yellow, look at the technique we get, how cool that's going to look with my little sun there in my sunset. I think that's, I love that idea. That's beautiful. Okay, that's called the kissing technique. So let's go on to our water. I'm done with those two colors. I'm going to bring in the Bermuda Bay and the Coastal Cabana. Okay, so then I'm going to ink up first this stamp right here. This one, I think, well, it looks like water. Ink that up good in the Coastal Cabana. And then in just a corner here of the big background stamp, I'm going to just ink this up really good in Bermuda Bay. Make sure I have all of it inked up there. Okay. And then I'm going to huff again on my Coastal Cabana. Make sure that it's moist and wet. And then I'm going to stamp that down right there. This is called kissing again. I'm going to get that ink from that background stamp onto my other stamp. I might get my head in the camera so I can get it lined up, but I'm going to put that right next to my sunset, and wait till you see how cool it looks with the water. Well, you can see here with those waves in there. I'm not putting a lot of pressure, but I want to let that ink sink into my paper there, and look how pretty that is. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, we're done with those two inks. Now we're going to bring in that Sahara sand and then ink up what I call the dirt. And I'm going to lay that down. And I'm probably going to stamp this 2 times. And get my head in the camera again so I can line it up with the water. Yeah, look how cute that is. And then one more time here. And then I'm going to turn it over And this way, I think it kind of gives that bottom a square edge. So it kind of looks, I don't know, I think that, like that right there, looks great. And then a little bit of that sand or pebbles, I'm gonna just stamp those along the bottom here. Just like that. There we go, nice. And then last, well not last, but last part of this, I'm gonna bring in that black memento and those little birds. And you know, I'm gonna stamp here to make sure, yep, they're upside down. I wanna stamp them this way. Let me get rid of this. There we go, and put this over here. Now I won't get my arm in the ink. And then I'm gonna just put my little birds right here. Now when you have little tiny images like this, boy, you want to make sure your ink pad is inky so you don't apply a lot of pressure on your stamp, so you don't have to smush them. And look how cute those little birds look on my card. Oh, and you know what, I lied. Remember I said that I wanted to stamp my envelope and the inside. I'm gonna bring that Sahara sand back out here, and my dirt. I'm going to ink that up here, and this time I'm going to just use this side, the larger, the thicker side, and I'm going to just stamp a little bit right here in the corner of the basic white I'm going to use for the inside, and then I'm going to do the same thing down here, make sure my envelope's not upside down, on the corner of my envelope. I don't know if the mailman likes that, but I do, so. And then I almost forgot that we need to stamp that weed. So here's that soft suede and that little weed. I can't stop calling it a weed. But look, I'm going to just lay that right there on my envelope. Look how cute. And on the inside of my card. Nice. And then do it right here on the front. There, and look, is that not beautiful? I do love this card. Okay, let's do our wording now. So I have some early espresso ink. I'm going to put this away. I'm going to even move, well, no, he's fine. He's not hurting anybody right now. But bring in all of those word stamps. Let's start with that little strip, and we'll see if I can get mine the first time. He fits on there. These words fit on there just perfect. So naturally, if you watch my videos, you know I like to practice. I'm going to practice once here on my grid paper. Nice. Although with the photopolymer stamps, you can see right through it, and it makes it really user-friendly. So once again, I'll probably have to get my head in the camera so I can get it on there and straight. I'm going to just stamp that down, hold that in. I think I did really good. Let that ink sink in. Yeah, look how pretty that is. Yay! Okay, so now on the inside, I'm going to stamp those words. And then this way, if at the Shoebox Swap, if they didn't want to put these words about where, you know, where would I be without a friend like you, they could just leave that off and just stamp the happy birthday. But I'm going to stamp that right up here. Love this stamp. This one, the font is so pretty, and it's just user-friendly. It just stamps really well. I didn't even practice. Did you notice that? I just went for it. And then we'll stamp that happy birthday right there. Yeah, nice. I think the inside of my card is just absolutely beautiful. I love, love, love this card. So thanks again, Lisa, for sharing. So let's go ahead and put our card together now. I'm going to go ahead and take the front here. And now I lost my tape because it's over here. I'm going to take the front and put it onto that mat, which is also Sahara sand. Now, if you're watching, don't worry about taking a list, although I already should have told you earlier that I'll have all the supplies on my blog, BeCreativeWithKathy.com, with all the measurements and sizes of the cardstock, which this time is really easy. The cutting of the cardstock is cake. We're going to lay this right here on here. This is Coastal Cabana. My card base is Coastal Cabana. And look, I'm so mad I got my little, I think some ink on my fingers, but that's okay. This is Hallmark. You don't have to be perfect. Handmade card. And then on the inside, we'll put this little piece here. And then I think also at my station, I'm going to have just some little dimensionals so they can just use mini dimensionals on their greeting. And I think I'm going to put my greeting right. Yep, I think he's going to go right there. And then we need a little bow on there. So I have, maybe it's still, yep, I have some of this baker's twine. And I think this is actually crumb cake baker's twine. And I'm going to bring in my bow maker, which I'll also have at my table. Now, if you don't know, if I have a special during celebration, and if you place a $75 order before shipping and tax using my host code, which here, I'll lay down my host code here, using this host code, I'll send you a bow maker. And I think it's great to tie little tiny bows. It ties bigger bows. I have videos out there showing you how to use it. I still plan to get just a focal video on just tying a bow. But anyway, I made these for my team for Christmas and had a few left over. So while supplies last, like I said, if you place a $75 order before shipping and tax using January's host code, I'll send you one of these little bow makers with Be Creative with Kathy on it. I had a friend of mine make it and my brother-in-law engraved them. I'm really proud of my little bow makers. But anyway, okay, so there's our little bow. Let me trim off these edges here, or the tails here. I need to remember to bring a little trash can so they can put their little trails and their tails and their paper from the dimensional backings in the trash. Bring my card back in here. I'm going to take a glue dot. Maybe I'll put glue dots at my station. It's almost like you guys are my guinea pigs so I can see what else I need to add. I should have used my paper snips, but you saw I folded my little glue dot in half, and I'm going to just set it right here under my greeting, and then just set my little bow right there on my greeting. And there you go. I think it's really cute. I think they're going to love it at the Shoebox Swap. Oops, stuck to my... I think you should have a Shoebox Swap. All you have to do is invite a few friends over, tell them to bring everything to make a card. You go home with several different cards, and it's a really fun experience. So there's my card. Oop, don't look. I just saw Mary get on, and I know she's going to be at the Shoebox Swap on Sunday. Maybe she's been on for a while. But there you go. There's my card. If you have any questions, be sure and let me know. Thanks for watching. Oh, and hey, on Monday, I'm going to show you, I'll show you all the cards from my Shoebox Swap, and I was in another demonstrator swap. I'll show you those cards that I got in that swap too. So I'll see you all back here Monday about 1:30. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.